Hey guys, it's Benedictines the Vegan. On yesterday's episode, I was talking about how life itself is a prison, which is something that is very obvious once you open your eyes. It isn't something that is hidden. The problem is that people want other people to tell them what the truth about this reality is instead of figuring things out themselves. You don't need other people to tell you what is going on. Just look around you. You'll see what's going on. You'll see that we are feeding off each other's energy. As earthlings, we are feeding off each other's energy. You have to kill animals in order to survive. There's the reason why I'm vegan, because I've realized that is fucked up. I go against what is actually natural in this world. It's not that it's not natural to be killing animals and eating them, but it is fucked up. And I'm conscious enough to realize that no, that is fucked up. I'm not gonna participate in that. I'm not a hypocrite. I can see that is fucked up. I don't want to participate in that. And I don't want to live in a world that's like that. So what should I do? I should just not participate in what's going on. There are things that I'm participating in because I'm like, okay, this is bad, but not that bad. But when I look at how we treat animals, I know that is bad. There are ways in which we're treating each other as people that are actually bad. Because we're feeding off each other's energy. Because this is a prison. It's supposed to be a prison. Things are supposed to work the way that they're working right now because it is a prison. You just have to open your eyes and stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself lies in order to survive in this world. Stop telling yourself lies. You've got to be strong enough to actually take the black pill and see reality as it is, and then decide what to do, because that's the only way that you can escape. You're not escaping this matrix if you're still believing lies because that makes you feel good. That's not being strong. You need to open your eyes and see what is going on and see reality as it is. What you must realize about this world, about this reality, is that the truth is hidden behind many layers. Like there are layers upon layers that are actually covered with lies. That's what you must realize. So what we're seeing isn't the truth, isn't reality. What we're seeing is the lies that are actually controlling us. Lies that were invented to control us. That's it. That's what we're seeing. We're not seeing reality. And these lies are actually beautiful. We're seeing beautiful lies. But once you start removing these layers, you actually start realizing that, no, man, something is off. So when you're seeing reality from the top layer, you'd actually think, oh, everything is good. Children are going to school to actually learn things that are going to help them in the future. Things that are going to ensure that they get the jobs that they want. They're going to, enjoy their lives and stuff like that. That's when you are only seeing what's happening on the top layer. When you remove that layer, you're like, no, actually something isn't right. These kids are not even being taught things that are actually making them smart. These kids are not even being taught things that are actually making them smart. And they have to waste a lot of energy learning these things that are not even making them smart. And you tell yourself that, the solution is that we actually find programs that are actually going to help them, get, get smarter than they are. We can come up with programs that can actually help these kids become smarter. There's the solution. You remove the layer and like, oh, actually, that was the plan all along. They weren't supposed to be smart. They were supposed to be dumb. You see, the whole thing was about creating slaves. That's what it was about. But since we're realizing that that is the truth, there's something that we'll be able to do about it. We can change, these things. We can change the way things work. You remove the layer, like, no, actually you can't. You can't change the way things work. You are not supposed to change the way things work. There's a reason why the world remained like this. Even though we've complained a lot about the things that have happened in the past, this world still remained like this. You can't change what is going on in the world. You see? So once you take the black pill, you actually realize that no, actually, things are actually the way that they're supposed to be. There are no bugs here, all right? All the horrible things that are happening are supposed to be happening. That's what you must realize. So you take the black pill and actually see reality as it is. And you decide what you need to do. You're not going to make a good decision if you don't even see what is really going on. You're not going to make a good decision. I mean, if you realize that the education system right now is not working, we need a better system. Tell yourself that, oh, we need a better system. We can fix the problems that way. You see, you're not coming up with the right solution. You just think you're too optimistic. You think that the problems that we have this problem because people are just not intelligent enough. They're just not intelligent enough. But I'm intelligent, and I can see that this is what we need to do to solve this problem. Like, no, this is exactly how things are supposed to be. The world isn't the way that it is because people don't realize what we need to do to make things better. It's because we're not supposed to make things better. You see, even when we try to make things better as people, you will realize that there will be forces that are more powerful than we are that are going to make sure that we don't change anything. You see, the world is going to remain the way that it is. So you take the black pill and actually realize that no, man, and nobody is going to change this world. You see, we're going to have people that we're going to worship, like, oh yeah, Nelson Mandela did this and that. We're still suffering in South Africa. We're still suffering. Young people in South Africa right now are suffering. They're broke as they come. They don't know what to do with their lives. So what did Mandela do? You're like, oh, he saved us from the apartheid government. Like, man, you gotta wake up. You've got to wake up and realize that you're not winning the battle that you're fighting if you're trying to change things. You're not gonna win. You wanna know why? Because in this world, evil things must keep on happening, because that is what's supposed to happen in this world. We're in a world that's ran by evil. You see, that's how things work in this reality. That is why it's much easier to do things that are horrible than it is to do things that are good. It is very easy to do things that are evil, but it's not that easy to do things that are good. That is why when you do things that are good, you find yourself losing a lot. There are a lot of people who actually tell you that, no, man, I used to be a kind person. I used to want to do what is right, but people took advantage of me. They took advantage of my kindness. And now I'm not helping anyone. Now I put myself first. Because they were living their lives wrong. They were being good in a world that's ran by evil, you know. You have to take the black pill, man. People believing in religions that are not even helping them, you know. Worshipping false gods. Being slaves. And being okay with that. One thing that you must realize about major religions in this world is that they train people to be slaves and to be okay with that. You know, they train people to submit. That is why when you watch videos of African pastors performing their miracles, doing things that are controversial, when you look at their members, you see that something isn't right. Like, these people are just watching their pastors doing things that make zero sense, and they're not even questioning these things. These pastors can even stand on top of their church members and they don't even say anything. You see, they're slaves. You can see that these people are defeated. You see, they think like slaves, like, oh, that's okay, it's okay for my pastor to stand on top of me. No, it's not. It's okay for me to give my pastor money, even if I don't have money to buy food for myself. No, it's not. It's not okay. But these religions are teaching people to be slaves, and you know, they end up believing that that is okay. That is how they should be living their lives. You take the black pill and realize that no, something isn't right. People that have not taken the black pill and who are, you know, believing in these religions don't realize what is going on. They just think God is going to save them. You know, they are doing what God wants them to do, and He's going to save them. He cares about them. He loves them. You know, they just need to do what He says they should do, and everything will be fine in the end. You know, He'll protect them. You take the black pill and actually realize that nah, that is not what is happening. That is not what is happening at all. You are brainwashed on so many levels. And these major religions were actually invented to turn you into slaves. And there are many tactics that are being used to turn you into a slave. So if you believe in these religions, you automatically become a slave. That is why you are being taught to submit. You must submit. You must honor your pastor. You know, respect the man of God. Like, man. And people don't see what is going on. Why? Because they are only seeing what's happening on the top layer. And that's where the lies are. That's what you must realize. That's where the lies are. You want the truth, you gotta remove the layers. And you do that by taking the black pill. Removing the layers is taking the black pill. You must be so interested in truth that no matter how it makes you feel, because once you start removing the layers, you're not gonna feel good. So no matter how it makes you feel, you're like, you know what, man, I want the truth. Fuck everything. I know what I saw in this world. I want the truth. I want to get to the bottom of everything now. No more lies. No more believing lies. I'm gonna be strong. So you start removing the layers and actually realize that, nah, man, something isn't right. You look at the idea of marriage. You realize that now, something isn't right. Why do we gotta sign papers? If it's really about love, why do we even gotta sign some? You know what I mean? Like, why? Then People end up breaking up and end up fighting, killing each other and all that. Marriage nowadays is a business contract, man. There are a lot of women that actually marry for money, 100%. They study you as a man, like, okay, this guy is making good money. I gotta make sure that I get him to marry me, get him to sign the papers that are going to be used against him in the end. You look at the idea of love, like, what is love? Actually realize that now, man, actually we do not love people that we do not need. So really, we don't really love other people, we love ourselves. When we say that we love other people, we're actually saying that we actually recognize what we need from them. That's what love is all about. That is why we are not helping people that really need help, because we don't need anything from them. You see, it's obvious. It is very obvious. As a guy, you're like, okay, I want an attractive woman. You want an attractive woman because an attractive woman is good for your status, right? That's why you want an attractive woman. And also, you want to have great sex, I guess. So the more attracted you are to her, the better the sex is going to be, I guess. So you don't see this kind of truth unless you take the black pill. That's why you must take the black pill and see reality for what it really is, and stop lying to yourself, because the lies that you believe are not helping you. These lies that you believe have turned you into a slave. You are a slave because of the lies that you believe. Oh, fucking sure. You are a slave because of the lies that you believe. And that is the truth. You find men working shitty jobs because they believe that they gotta get married, have a family, be slaves, basically, because men these days are slaves. They don't even realize that. Women have turned men into slaves. In fact, it's not even women that have turned men into slaves. It's this, the current system has turned men into slaves. They're working for their families. They're like, no, something is wrong, man. Something is wrong. So women now believe that men should be their slaves. You date a girl now, even if she has a job, she believes that you must do things for her. Like, as a man, there are a lot of things that are expected from you. A lot of things that are expected from you. You don't just find love like that. There has to be a lot of things that you have to offer, in order to find love. There has to be a lot of things that you gotta bring to the table. Women don't have to bring anything to the table. That is why a girl that's working at McDonald's can marry a very, very rich guy, like a very, very powerful rich. But a guy that's working at McDonald's is not gonna marry like a very, very rich woman. It doesn't work that way. She ain't gonna allow that to happen. Ask yourself, why do we got to buy women flowers? Why do we gotta open cars for them? Why do we gotta kneel down when we propose? It's slavery, man. I've seen a lot of people that are living with women, act like slaves for real. Like, the woman controls everything, and it looks like he's the head of the family. Like, no, the woman literally controls everything. That guy just wakes up, go to work. She doesn't even care about the dude. She just cares about what he's doing for her. Because if he loses the ability to provide for her, she's out. So stop lying to yourself. Open your eyes to how things really work in this world, so that you don't continue being a slave, because that is not helping you. You see? That is not helping you. There are many people that I've communicated with that are slaves that can't even think for themselves at all, because they've been brainwashed completely. Like, there's no hope for this person. That is why I don't like talking to people that are old about what's going on in this world, because there's no hope for these people. They've been brainwashed. There's nothing that we can do for these people. Ain't nobody's waking up at the age of fucking 30. It's not fucking possible. I don't think that shit is possible. Look, if you have woken up at the age of 30, at the age of 40, I don't know. Maybe you're a superhuman. It's not. It doesn't work like that. You know, people start waking up when they're young. You know, the best time for people to wake up is like when they are like in their 20s, because that's when they are actually strong, you know, so they don't end up ending their lives after realizing what is really going on. I mean, when you wake up when you're really young, let's just say you're like 18 and you wake up, like, it's hard. It's hard because you're still young, you're not strong enough. But when you're in your 20s, it's better. When you're, when you're 30 is even much better. It's much easier. But I mean, it's hard. I mean, waking up is hard, but I mean, you are stronger than the ones that are young. So yeah. But what you must realize is that this society was not designed for you to thrive at all. And all the fucked up things that are happening because they should be happening. You know, it has nothing to do with, you know, people not having figured out how to live and all that. It's nothing to do with that. You know, it is possible to change the world. I want you to get that. It is possible to change the world. If it wasn't supposed to be the way that it is, we would have changed it, because we wanted to change it for a very long time. So it is supposed to be the way that it is, because you are in a prison. So in a prison, things must work the way that they work now. There will be a lot of information that will be hidden from you, information that's going to set you free. That kind of information should be hidden from you. Wealth should be kept the fuck away from you, you know. You mustn't be given knowledge that's going to actually help you make money and become wealthy. You're not supposed to be wealthy. You're supposed to be broke and work your whole life as a fucking slave. Wake up in the morning, go and work, do things that you don't even want to do. Slavery. People acting like this is in slavery. No, by today's standards, this is slavery. This is slavery. You're working a job that you don't even like. I don't know that many people that actually like their jobs. And for money that's not even going to like really sustain you, you know. Like, how many people are actually making enough money to feel satisfied? Like, okay, yeah, I am satisfied. Like, no, there ain't that many people in this world. Very few people, you know, are making enough money. There's a reason why there are hierarchies in this world. There's a reason why this system has been designed in such a way that some people will become like really wealthy and some people will be really, really broke. You must realize that you're a slave, man. You must realize that you're a slave or a prisoner, because once you realize what's going on, you become a prisoner. But that's better, because you're gonna know that you need to fucking escape this thing. You know, people who have realized that, no, man, like, something is wrong, you know, taking the right kind of decisions that are actually gonna help them free themselves. Some became internationalists, some became vegan, some you know, focusing on spirituality, trying to like really understand this reality. Like, oh man, what happens when we die? Is it really over, or we end up coming back here, and how do we make sure that we don't end up coming back here? You know what I mean? Like, people are actually doing the right things. They're not easy to lie to, you know, they're not easy to manipulate. And they don't do things that are actually keeping other people ignorant. So it's better that you take the black pill and wake up and realize that, no, man, there's a reason why things are the way that they are. You know, there's a reason why we have schools. There's a reason why you have to work a shitty job in order to survive. There's a reason why it's not easy to make money. There's a reason why we have too many religions in this world and we still don't know shit. Because we have many religions in this world, but when you really think about it, we don't even know things that are gonna actually free us. We just, when you look at what people are being taught in the religions, you realize that, no, man, they're not being given information that's gonna help them free themselves. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with slavery. It has everything to do with enslaving them, keeping them in check. Must ask yourself, why do we have religions? And why are these religions the way that they are? And you realize that something isn't right. You must ask yourself, why is there so much suffering in this world? You see, I've been telling you that suffering is a sign that something is not right. You suffer because something is not right, and you must figure out that, yes, I'm suffering because something is not right. What is it that is not right that's actually making me suffer? You shouldn't be okay with suffering at all. If you're suffering, you shouldn't be okay with that. You'll be like, no, fuck that. If you've been suffering your whole life, you must not be okay with that. Don't even try to be strong. Don't be okay with suffering. That's not good at all. People will be trying to justify suffering. No, fuck that. That is why I have told myself that I'm not going to bring a child into this world. Why? Because it is not okay to suffer. Why bring sentient beings into this world that can actually suffer in a world where many people are suffering? It doesn't make any sense. In a prison, people suffer. They get tortured. That's what must happen in a prison. So if we're suffering in this world, something is wrong. I know that people will think, oh, well, there are good stuff that's happening in this world. It's not like the world is just evil, like everything that's happening is evil. But here's the thing. Here's what you must realize. And this is very important to realize. For this to be the perfect prison, there must be a balance. You must be confused. You mustn't really be sure that this is a prison. So here's what I mean when I say there must be a balance. There must be horrible things that are happening to people, and there must be good things that are happening to people. So that you'll be like, I mean, there are good things that are happening to some people. So, I just have to do the right things in order to win and get to experience good things in this world. So you don't ever realize that this is a prison. Imagine if all of each and every person was suffering in this world. Everyone was suffering, and you're like, no, actually something isn't right. Like, everyone would realize that something isn't right. You wouldn't even need to convince anyone that something isn't right. People would just realize it, because all of them, each and every person will be suffering in this world. It will be easy to realize that something isn't right. But if there are some people that are suffering and some people that are not suffering, then it will seem as if those that are not suffering have just done the right things. They've worked very hard, and they're stable, they're strong. That's why they're not suffering. Well, the truth is that no, actually This world was designed this way for a reason, you know, so that people don't ever realize that no, actually there are slaves in this world. You know, they're suffering because they are slaves in this world. They're suffering because they were slaves. Simple as that. And we're all confused, you know. We think that things that are happening for us. Another thing that you must realize is that even the things that we think are good, when you start removing the layers and see the reality of these things, you actually realize that these things ain't even good. Once you start removing the layers, you actually realize that even the things that we think are good are not even good. They just seem good because people have not taken the black pill. You think that some people being super rich while some people are poor is good. Like, oh, yeah, this person has worked very hard. Like, how many people have actually worked hard to become rich in this world? How many people do you know that have actually worked really hard and you're like, yeah, this person really deserves? What you must understand is that each and every person is actually working hard. And another thing that you must realize is that money is man-made. And it allows some people to actually steal from other people. That's what you must realize. There ain't a way that's natural that will actually allow people to be to own the things that they own in this world. There isn't a system that is natural that will allow them, like the richest people who actually own everything, to be owning everything. It wouldn't work. But because of money, it works. They are able to own a lot of things that they shouldn't even be owning, you know. That should tell you something. Banks are stealing money from people, scamming people, turning people into slaves, making it hard for people to actually become wealthy. So really, once you open your eyes, you realize that even the things that are good are actually bad. Just like I was telling you that school isn't good. It just seems as if it is. But once you start removing the layers, you actually realize that no, it isn't good. Religion isn't good. It just seems as if it's good. You start removing the layers and actually realize that no, having children isn't good. You're like, no, having children is good. No, it just seems good. You know, people talk about bringing a child into a world like this as if it's something that is actually good, you know, congratulating people that are pregnant. Oh, congratulations. Like, no, it isn't good. It just seems good. Because, you know, when people talk about the good stuff, they're talking about that, like having a family, that's what's good, you know. Like, no, that's fucking evil. You know, bringing a child into a world like this is evil on so many levels. You know, you're just not woke enough. Like, you have not taken the black pill, so you don't see that. You should say, so even the stuff that's good ain't really good. Everything about this world isn't good. This is not the kind of world that you should be happy to, you know, believing in. You know, you gotta see it for what it is so that you'll do the right things, you know. Realize that you shouldn't even be bringing people into a world like this. There's absolutely no good reason for, you know, people to be having children. No good reason like this. You know, it really, like, it's the dumbest thing that we can do as people. It's the dumbest thing that animals are doing. You look at animals that are suffering and they still be reproducing. They're fucking stupid. They're operating at a very, very low level of consciousness. They don't even realize that they are slaves and they don't even have rights. You know, they can get killed at any time for energy. You know, we kill these animals because we want energy from them. You know, the same way that we're being abused for energy. When you really think about it, even people that are like working, you know, they're working, giving their energy, you know, working shitty jobs because their bosses want their energy. And if you want to go deeper, you actually realize that even children that are being sacrificed, they are being sacrificed for energy. And you tell yourself that, oh, that's horrible, and it is. I'm not saying that it isn't horrible. It is horrible, but what you must realize is that we do the same to animals. We are killing them for their energy, right? Because we want their energy. So we shouldn't be hypocrites. If something is evil, something is evil. Don't be a hypocrite. You shouldn't have double standards. See reality as it is. See reality as it is. You can't convince yourself that a world where we're supposed to kill each other in order to survive is good. You can't. You're so fucking delusional if you've convinced yourself that that is good. It's my God-given right to kill animals. It's hard to feel sorry for people, man, when they are suffering. You look at them like, whatever created you, man. I don't know. You just, why should I feel sorry for you if you're doing a lot of horrible things and you don't even realize that you're doing a lot of horrible things? You must be able to see when you're causing suffering. If you don't want other people that are more powerful than you to abuse you, then you shouldn't abuse those that are less powerful than you. I know a lot of people who have complained about their bosses, like, oh, my boss, is this and that. But when they get to become bosses, they actually do the same thing. No one is guilty, man. Shouldn't even feel sorry for it. There isn't a person that isn't guilty, so you shouldn't even be feeling sorry for anyone. People just suck. But yeah, a world where we can feel pain and where we are being made to feel pain isn't good. A world where animals get killed and they get to, suffer, be afraid, and they get killed for their meat isn't good. That is a fact. A world where we are being abused just because we want to survive, being made to work shitty jobs, where, people are not even happy, just pretending to be happy. It's not good. It is obvious that that world is not good. It's just that people have been brainwashed so much that they don't even think for themselves. You think people can think, no, they don't even think for themselves, man. We're living a lie. We're not even responding the way that we must be responding to the things that are happening in this world. Because we're living a lie. We've convinced ourselves that this world is good. It's not even... Another thing that you must realize is that it's not even us that convince ourselves that things that are happening is good. It's those that are above us. Because we've been brainwashed, Those that are controlling everything have convinced us that the things that are happening are good. So we tell ourselves that the things that are happening are good, even if they're not good. Even if it doesn't even make sense to believe that these things that are happening are good, I find it weird when I attend funerals where tragic things have happened to those that died, and people talk as if what happened was good. It's God's will. God knows what He's doing. We must just keep on worshiping God. God is always good. You're like, fuck these humans. I don't even attend funerals anymore. Because they don't even respond the way that they need to be responding. If fucked up things happen, fucked up things have happened. And we must realize that these things that have happened are really fucked up, and stop telling ourselves lies, because that doesn't help us. What's crazy, man? Lying is actually what's expected. You have to stand in front of people and lie when bad things happen. You're literally expected to stand in front of people and lie, and the ones that are very good at lying are the ones that are actually given a chance to speak. Stand in front of people and actually lie to them after they've witnessed the most horrible things. You're supposed to like twist the story and make it seem like the things that have happened are happening for the greater good and all that. We must actually speak the truth about the things that are actually happening, not lie to us. When children get murdered, we must tell ourselves the truth about what has happened. We mustn't tell ourselves that our God knows what He's doing. God is still good. Something is wrong with what we've been forced to believe. Another thing that you must realize about religion is that it doesn't just control the people that follow it. Like let's just say you believe in Christianity. It doesn't only, Christianity doesn't only affect you. It also affects people who don't believe in it. When you go to funerals, you realize that you have to do things that people who believe in Christianity do. You have to pray, sing Christian songs, all that. Have preachers preach. If I knew exactly when I'm going to die, I would make a video talking about why I don't want people to be singing Christian songs and why I don't want anyone to preach at my funeral. Like, something's wrong, man. Something's wrong with that. Because it doesn't even matter if you're an atheist. Like, they're gonna invite a pastor to come and pray and lie. Imagine, like, that's fucked up on so many levels. Can you imagine if I died and they actually invited a pastor to come and preach? Like, oh, it's just for the people that are left behind, all that. Like, no, man. It's what I truly stand against. Like, them inviting a pastor to come and pray will be disrespecting everything that I stood for as a person. We shouldn't be afraid to feel pain. We shouldn't be afraid to be alone. We shouldn't be afraid of being judged, of being hated, of being treated as misfits, not being given opportunities because of the truth. It's the truth that's gonna save us, man. Once you start embracing the truth, realizing what it is and actually embracing it and stop lying to yourself, I don't know, like, you start to change. You're not gonna be the same person. Something in you starts to change. Like, you literally start transforming. And what I like about that is that you actually start seeing more truth. You see, when you lie to yourself, what's gonna, like, you're gonna start a ripple effect where you will, like, continue to lie to yourself about everything. But when you take the black pill and actually see the truth, you're gonna see more truth. You're gonna see more truth. So it will be hard for people to lie to you. It will be easy for you to see when a person is lying. You won't really need to do anything. You just listen to that story and realize that, oh, this person is lying, without really having to do much. Because it's like you become, like, you get to a vibration of truth somehow. Like, once you start embodying your, like, philosophy, your enlightenment, It's like you shift to a new vibration, you know. Because really, like when things happen, there are different ways of seeing these things. When an event happens, there are different ways of like viewing that event. You can see it as it is, like, okay, this is really what happened, or you may see it as it is, or actually lie to yourself. But once you take the black pill, it's much easier to see things as they really are without really lying to yourself. That is why there are people that whenever they speak the truth. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. When you listen to them speak, you actually realize that, oh no, actually what this person is saying is true. Like, this person is making a lot of sense. This person is making a lot of sense. It doesn't matter what they're talking about, you know. You see that this is the truth. Even if you weren't realizing that certain things, when they speak the truth, you actually start realizing these things that you weren't realizing. It's because they've embodied their philosophy, you know. They've embodied their enlightenment. They've started a ripple effect where, you know, whatever happens, they are able to see the truth. So we need to be like that, so that we don't find ourselves in another trap. There are a lot of things that are happening in this world today, and chances are, if we don't wake up, we might find ourselves in another trap. It might even get to a point where we even become immortal. You know, people say, oh, it's impossible. I'm like, really? Don't ever say anything is impossible in a world like this. We've seen things that are supposed to be impossible happen. So don't lie to yourself and say that that's impossible. I actually believe that there are people that are already immortal, you know, people that have been here for many, many years. You know, this sounds like bullshit. Like, oh, come on, like there can't be people who have lived for many years. Like, it doesn't happen like that. You must realize that in a world like this, there will be a lot of information that will be kept away from you. You know, how do you think they are able to control us like the way that they're controlling us? They're able to control us the way that they're controlling us because they've been here for many years. They know a lot of things that we do not know about this reality. They know the secrets of the universe. They know how to imprison us. Or the same way that we are able to actually, the same way that we're able to imprison animals. They can't free themselves. We're much smarter than them, you know. Much smarter than them. We know a lot of things that they do not know, understand a lot of things that they do not understand. So they are our slaves, you know. So we must realize that now, actually, there are a lot of things that we do not know that are actually happening right now, things that we're not even aware of. There are a lot of things that, you know, are being done. A lot of things that are being done that we don't know that these things are being done. A lot of things that are possible that we don't even know that they are possible. You might find that time travel is actually possible, but we don't know that it's possible, and we're not supposed to know that it's possible. And if you think it's not possible, think of the things that are possible now, that if you told people that lived 50 years ago that these things were going to be possible, they would think that you're fucking crazy. But these things are actually possible now. And we know that these things are actually possible because they are happening. It's not supposed to be possible for me to actually communicate with someone who's in Canada right now. It's not supposed to be possible, but it's possible. Like, that's real magic. I mean, how is that even possible? The reason why some people don't believe that there are a lot of things that are actually possible, that are actually happening now, is because I would say they are realists. Like, they're so, like, they just believe in only what they see. And it's easy for this kind of people to get manipulated. Like, you like, nah, this cannot be possible. No, there's no way this is possible. I only believe in what I see, and it's easy for them to be manipulated. You've got to know that there has to be a lot of things that are actually possible that you don't know at all. And be skeptical, and always be suspicious. Because you're not going to free yourself if you trust people that are trying to control you, people that have more power than you. You shouldn't be, you should be skeptical. You mustn't just trust them, When they say, oh, we want to do this to you, you're like, no. I'm too dumb to understand what you're doing, what you want to do to me, so I'm not going to allow you to do anything to me because, I'm too dumb to even understand what you want to do to me. And that's actually a good way to respond, If they say you must get this, you must say, I don't understand what's even in there. I don't understand what you're trying to inject me with. So I cannot allow you to do that. I know that this world is really horrible. I've seen a lot of horrible things happening, so I cannot trust you. I've seen lots of horrible things being done to people, so why should I trust you? It's not like humans are good. It's not like humans are trustworthy. Lots of humans actually have an agenda. I mean, the world itself is a prison, and in this kind of a prison, we use each other. We kill each other in order to survive. Use each other in order to survive, to get the things that we want. So you shouldn't just be trusting people that seem to know more than you do. Just try to trust yourself. Like, learn to rely on yourself. Look at what's going on in the world and figure out what you really need to do to free yourself. I'm telling you, this world is going to become worse, man. I saw a video a couple of days back where they were talking about a technology that actually allows them to use Wi-Fi to they actually able to see what you do using Wi-Fi without cameras. Like, they can use your Wi-Fi to actually see what you're doing, like, or maybe predict what you're doing. Isn't that crazy? So it means that in the future they're not even going to be using cameras. They're not even going to be using cameras, and they'll be able to see everything. So is this really the kind of world that you want to bring your child into? A world that they won't even understand, a world where they won't even have power. You see, you don't want to live in a world where there are people that can do things that are supposed to be impossible, things that you know you'll never be able to do in a million years. Because those people are going to be super powerful and they're going to enslave you. You want to live in a world where you're like, okay, everyone is equal here. Because in a world where everyone is equal, people will just be trying to like live in peace, I guess. Maybe. I'm not saying that what's going to happen, but if when people are really equal, they tend to live in peace. They tend to live in harmony, than when there are people that are more powerful than other people, or people that feel like they should be more powerful than other people. Those are the ones that are dangerous. And in a world like this, you can see that we're not equal. People believing that we're equal. We are not equal. That is a lie. We're not equal. That is why there are people that have everything and there are people that have nothing. People that are homeless. It's because we're not equal. We don't even see anything wrong with that. It's something that's normal in our society. Homelessness is normal. People that don't have families, they have to beg for food. We think that's normal in this world. That should tell you something, man. So I really respect people who have decided that they're not going to bring children into a world like this, because it's not a good thing to do, man. The world is too fucked up for you to be reproducing. I'm telling you, it's really backwards to really be reproducing right now. It's really, really backwards for people to be reproducing right now. So we have to open our eyes and see things as they really are. The lies that we often tell ourselves in order to feel good are not going to save us. They never did. There's never been a point in history where people were saved by lies. And lies are dangerous because if they are passed on from generation to generation, these lies end up being used to imprison people. When lies turn into reality, the world is really fucked up. Because here's the thing: when lies turn into reality, because they are lies, it means that they're not going to free you, right? They're not gonna work for you. These lies are not gonna work for you. They're gonna be reality. It's like being delusional. Let me put it that way. Because being delusional is like seeing things that really, really seem true, but that are not really true. So if you are seeing these things that are not true, but that seem true, they're going to be true to you. But because they're not true, it means that you're not going to do what you need to do. You see, like if you are seeing things that don't exist, you're going to do things that you're not supposed to do. And these things are not going to help you, So if you believe in a God that does not exist, you're going to pray thinking that, he's going to save me, but then end up suffering and justifying your suffering. So you end up realizing that you need to escape this prison manually, because it's a prison. It's your consciousness that's trapped when you really think about it. So you need to keep on figuring out what the truth is. Keep on allowing yourself to be enlightened and make the best decisions possible. I know that it's not easy to make the right kind of decisions in a world like this, but ask yourself, what is the best decision that I can make when dealing with the situations that I'm dealing with, or that I'm going to deal with? What's the best decision, and try to make the best decision. That's what's gonna help you. Thank you, guys.